I never, like, while I was writing that, I never thought one day I'll end up writing a book, young designers trying to get into the field. This also shows one good thing, that design has been acknowledged now, and like other fields, being a designer also means that you have to be an effective storyteller. Be resilient, even if you're not getting jobs and all. Don't be saddened about it. Just work on yourself. Just keep pushing yourself up, and then eventually you'll get.
Hello, Ravi. How's it going? It's super nice having you.
Hi, Breton. All good here as well. Thank you for having me here. Super excited to have a conversation today.
Tell us a bit about yourself and how did you get into Microsoft?
So, I currently work at Microsoft AI. So, I work on health experiences on Bing, MSN, and few parts of Windows as well. The journey to Microsoft has been a long journey, and I've been working in multiple companies before Microsoft. And it's been almost 3 years, 4 months here now at Microsoft, working with same health experiences since the beginning, and it's been a wonderful journey so far. And we're gonna be discussing the journey parts as and when you ask more and more questions around it.
One of the things that's super fascinating is accolades, right, in people's life. Tell us about your experience of being the top design writer twice on Medium, then the mighty COVID-19 challenge, Microsoft STCI Innovation as well. Like, what did you personally learn from these accolades and these moments?
So these were like as a part and parcel of the journey that you go through. So they were never like mug or being done कि I have to achieve this specific sort of an award or something. They were came in all by parcel of the work. So I used to actively write on Medium. Way before even when I started Nodes of Design podcast, I was writing heavily on Medium, and during that process, Medium was also quite new then when I started writing. So it gave a lot of learnings for me also, like how to write, how to share your thought, and there was this huge journey, and I took it as a 52 weeks of exercise left there to learn or make myself comfortable with writing. And I never, like, while I was writing that, I never thought one day I'll end up writing a book, and these experiences will help me there. So it was all just a base start, a passion to do something and explore something and learn something new. And all these extra clouds and awards are just the byproduct of the same. So it was never like aim for awards and then do certain thing. And I feel like whenever someone tries to do that also, it's most of the times it doesn't work and it only gives you disappointment. But instead, if you just passionate about what you are doing, just keep doing it, and then these accolades and awards will be like part of the ongoing process or the journey that you have taken for.
Makes sense. I mean, the awards kind of basically validate the efforts that you have taken consistently for a long time. But if you try and take those efforts for the accolades, maybe it wouldn't work, right?
Yes.
Yeah, how will you advise like a young designer to get to like the next level and differentiate themselves in our times?
So that's actually a very good question, but I'll talk today, it's based on my experience and my learnings. That basically what I've noticed, because I've mentored over 300 people so far, and one thing that I've really seen is that currently, especially the Indian market, it's really crowded with a lot of young designers trying to get into the field. This also shows one good thing, that design has been acknowledged now, and like other fields, which wasn't the case way before. When I started, at least it wasn't the case like this. And even still, like few times when I tell someone that I'm a designer, they think I'm a fashion designer and talks about clothing and all that. But still, I'm very glad that the design awareness is growing, and more people are getting into design education, and they're getting into good schools and colleges to pursue design and education. Also, people who are in other fields are taking boot camps and courses and then getting into this field. So in a way, you could see that field is being validated, and the designers are getting validated in the current ecosystem. But this also creates one of this problem that there's way more people than do. So differentiation plays a very major role in getting what you want to achieve, and there are different ways to do that. The first and foremost thing is being very good with your craft and your skills. So no matter what, that's a ground zero that people want to focus at. How good are you with your skill, your craft? How good are you doing it better? That's the first thing. And second is the way how you convey your stories also. So being a designer also means that you have to be an effective storyteller, and how your product narrates out to a larger audience and how it tells and solves their larger issues also matter. And third comes a very good portfolio to tell all of this credibility and bring credibility to your profile. And then comes the personal branding aspect as well. I personally feel designers should start working on their personal branding, because it not just opens up new gate, but also it helps you build up a lot of new skills. So as you are doing this, for us being in college itself, you're getting exposure by meeting a lot of new people, also understanding, and in the meanwhile, you are just creating a wonderful product that people could refer to and learn from. So personal branding also goes in a long way. And then comes the major part, which is the resilience aspect. So no matter what, you have to stick with. Staying that resilient and consistent is what the larger game is all about. And that's what make you stay differentiated. Because if you consistently practice upon a thing, be resilient. Even if you're not getting jobs and all, don't be excited about it. Just work on yourself. Just keep pushing yourself up, and then eventually you'll get. So being resilient is very much important.
That great advice, superb. Like 100% resonate with the personal branding thing. Like so much of the good things that have happened to me, or almost all of it, because of the small amount of personal branding journey that I've started on my LinkedIn. And specifically with the resilience, I think that's an important point a lot of people don't, highlight often. But it is tough. There is competition, and so resilience will play, of course, a key part. Thanks for highlighting that. A lot of people don't highlight that. They keep talking about portfolios and all. But also, my next question is on that, Ravi. How much importance do you put on utilization of tools and processes, the double diamond and all that? And how much is it on the core explanation of innovation and creative problem solving when advising designers' portfolios, in terms of presentation?
So because I've also recently written this book, Notes of Wisdom, where I've it was a huge journey, and while listing down these books, I myself had gone back again and read all the principles and had all the conversations with my mentors on the frameworks and principles. So what I'll say and personally believe, this is again coming from my experience and my way of thinking, it is frameworks and principles are the fundamental aspect. You should get it and learn it, but that's fine. But there's no 100% assurity or guarantee that the framework that you have chosen will work for a certain problem or solution. So frameworks are built to guide you, but it's on you that how you bend them to make it work on your product and your user need, rather than being very solidified. Okay, in Double Diamond they said this, okay, I have to follow this. No, it's never like that. They were the guiding principle. They told you to do certain things in this way, but it's always on you and the problem that you're trying to solve for, that you can take these frameworks and principles and bend them accordingly to the problem statement and try to solve.
Makes sense, yeah. Can you give some 3, 4, or 5 pointers about things that a portfolio must have? You shouldn't miss out on them.
Okay, so the very first thing a portfolio should have is talk about you as a person.
Sure.
A lot of the times when I also myself see a lot of my mentees' portfolios and all, I sometimes feel a lot of the times what happens is you try to focus and try to make your portfolio to impress others so much. In that process, you tend to forget yourself itself. So a portfolio is not a document to make others impress or something. It's a living document for yourself. Always think it from that perspective, and try your true honest story that you want to tell the world using your book. So don't try and make it or design it in some way that is there to impress somebody, or you have just taken someone else's ditto copy and then just done it. Try and bring your own unique character, because as a human, everybody is so different from each other. We have our own, everyone's unique skill sets and everything. So it's better to bring your own uniqueness, and that uniqueness itself will make it stand apart from the crowd that is there. That's the first and foremost. Second is having a good amount of at least 4 or 5 projects that talk the depth and grit of your skill and your craft that you have applied for. So essentially, for example, if you're a UX designer, but you're also good with motion graphics and everything, then categorize your work and put 4 good UX case studies up front, and then talk about your motion design skills. And what I've seen throughout my mentoring career is that people transition from different careers. For example, there was this mentee, she was a dentist, and then she turned into a UX designer. But being a dentist, she has read through a lot of medical documents, and she's good with her research, and she's good with conversations with patients and all in her past life. So it's not like a past life experience not gonna get used in anywhere here. So that's where you should not leave your past. You should take those lessons, carry forward here in your new field as well, and continue to also celebrate your past. If you are doing a career transition or something, talk about your past also, and how did you apply it. Those lessons from the past into your current transition will help the opposite person understand how did your transition happen and what was your journey and story, that will make them personally connect with. So that's the third point. And then fourth is having a clear structure and a navigation of different things that you are doing. So it's good to put other hobbies and activities as well that you are interested in doing. For example, you are doing podcasts, then definitely I think you should have a page in your portfolio that talks about your podcast and lectures. Because it always believes that like the recruiter or person whosoever is coming to your portfolio, consider it like it's your museum, it's your place. How do you want to navigate them through it? What type of story you want to tell through it? It's all on you. So don't be afraid or shy that okay, portfolios has to be in certain way. No, everybody's unique. Everybody's thinking is quite unique. So your portfolios also are meant to be unique rather than being one static layout or have only these 4 steps or stuff like that. Current personally believe. So yeah, these are few things that people should keep in mind.
So these are fundamental points as well. Like getting just these things cleared up can change so many things for youngsters coming up. But that's for people who actually want to design and have, kind of entered the field. You'll have a keener grasp of fields from Fortune 500 to startups. What will be your top 5 like career advice for freshers who are willing to enter design but are unsure?
See, a lot of times what I say is like whenever someone comes with this was like, first ask yourself the fundamental question, why do you want to design? Why did you choose this particular field? So by asking yourself that question itself will unlock a lot of answers. A lot of the times what happens is people see something is happening very well in market, so maybe I should also take it in first. But I personally believe creative fields are like such, and unless you are really passionate about it, it's really hard to survive in these. Because a lot of resilient, a lot of hard work, a lot of things are required. If you have just came to this field only to understand, okay, this is a high paying thing, then that's a wrong impression and you can't sustain on a longer run. It's very much important to sit and ask yourself, why do you want to get into this field? Why do you select design as a field? What's your future plan after 5 years? I believe, because the Red River side will be that. So yeah, like self-reflection is one of the biggest part. And second is like find yourself good mentors. So platforms like ADPillars and all, they provide a lot of great opportunities to connect with mentors and reach out to them and ask your clarifying doubt. So even before you entering into the field, if you could get a high level details of what exactly you want to do and stuff like that will really help you to make a good career choice and decision. And third is do your own market study. Go on LinkedIn, check how people are responding, how people lives are there, and try and get a less true gist of the story on what's happening on ground and try to make your own perspectives. And considering on all these decisions, then it's up to you, like whether you want to choose this field or not. But yeah, I think sitting with yourself and understanding what you want to do with this field and how do you want to learn and grow from this field, it's totally upon individual to do.
I would love to know now about Microsoft and your journey there. Before joining, like you must have had some sort of thoughts about what will working in such a big company be like. After joining, do you think there has been something that you were not expecting, some challenges, something that you had no clue that you will have to deal with, but you had to?
So I was like very lucky and thankful enough that I had good friends at Microsoft. Like even before I joined, so I had a good understanding of the culture and the growth mindset that people carry over there. And that's one of the major reasons for me also to join Microsoft was that there's this continuous learning of growth every day. So every day you gotta learn something new, and every day is like, at least so far in my experience, has been quite new, unique, and adventurous. So when I joined, like I didn't thought like I would get to learn so much, and yeah, when I didn't join before, I had this perception that oh, what will it be like, how much my learning is gonna be like, and stuff like that. But every day was a new learning day for me. Every day has been a good joyride, and touchwood, I've been with the same team designing health experiences since the beginning, and since so far now, we have got that product to so much scale so much. So it's been a wonderful journey so far, and a journey filled with a lot of learnings and beautiful memories also have been created. Like I work with really cool team, while like kind of same vibe and everything. So it's really nice stuff, I think.
One learning from Microsoft that you would want to give to other people who haven't been able to experience, that scale of a team and that level of innovation.
So one thing is like rapid innovation was the first thing, and second is having a growth mindset. So even if you hit with a failure or anything, don't just sit and like be like sorrow about the setback that you had. Try and focus on what better you could do, and try and focus on how you could learn from this and then grow on yourself. So applying that growth mindset or think like is a super awesome stuff. And one more thing is like, don't just so much like what do you say, have a great amount of empathy towards your customers and try and keep yourself open up for feedbacks from every 360 degrees basically. Having these would be like the major advices I would give, like based on my personal experiences, having growth mindset and ability to take a 360-degree feedback, and then being resilient on what you are doing, and don't just get disappointed with the setbacks.
Like rapid innovation and growth mindset is not something that you would expect with a behemoth like Microsoft, right? So that's super interesting.
Yeah, so I work on web surfaces. So basically, we work on Bing, and we have to be like super fast with different things that we do. And there's like so much agility and goodness over there. Like, so touch wood, I feel I'm like blessed that I got to work in this team and work on such rapid evolving product with, and that too with the rise of AI. Every day we are experimenting with something other new and bringing and helping users with best healthcare. So it's super fun.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room now, AI. Of course, Microsoft has, so we'll have to talk about that. What do you think? Like, how do you think the field of design will evolve now with AI?
So I personally think there's this famous quote that everybody use. I also quote that AI is not gonna steal your jobs. It's a person who knows AI will take your jobs. And I feel that's actually true also. And I myself take a lot of AI workshops and do a lot of AI evangelizing whenever I'm free at different events and stuff. So I personally, what I see, and I use these tools daily a lot, and they are getting better day by day. So what I say is, even though if you're a designer or non-designer watching this, you should definitely get your hands on this. And future is all about prompt engineering, and the way how you write and the way how you converse with systems is gonna be the major thing. And as we have seen, like Figma AI with that recent update has shown the world that traditional just sticking with visual skills doesn't gotta work on a long run. So you wanna be thinking 360 degrees wise in terms of product and be like an actual product maker. Apart from design, also build those core product building skills that will help you grow and do better. Design will change, like with the rise of a lot of different things have changed. So design will also change, and designers' role in designing will also change. There will new things that will definitely emerge from. So this is that early internet era. When internet came in, people weren't really sure about what's gonna happen. There's like so many things that were happening parallelly. So it's that sort of an area, and I feel it's the right time to ride on this wave and make yourself, equipped with the skills and be good with prompt writing and all this. That will help you do better and perform very faster basically. Since like I've been using these tools since 2021, and I would say touchwood, it changed the life and the way how the productivity just shot up, the way how managing different things shot up, because I have parallelly so many things getting done. So I think AI agents have like literally helped me a lot of different things. So yeah, I'm like, I would say can't literally predict the future, but I'm thinking it's gotta be like a positive thing itself. Like everything happens, so you just have to ride on the wave, make yourself equipped, and that's where the growth mindset also comes into the. So wherein if something new comes up, you just don't see it as a challenge and just pick it up and then work on it and learn from something too.
Makes sense. There's this saying that every day we are using AI, we are using the worst version of it that will ever exist. Only an uphill advancement from it. While you were talking about how design will be changed and in general technology will be changed, one thing that comes up to mind is the T-shaped skill building that we talk about right now. Do you think that will be the next thing? Like more generalists with one deep skill, but adjacent general skills at a great level.
So I personally think like being a T skill usually helps you with your personal life as well. And I relate that with that thing only. Like for example, if you are good with riding bikes and all, you might also be learning the skill of repairing your bike, not to a major extent, but till all the minor parts and all. Similarly, for any skill that you learn, there's this auxiliary benefit that's going to come out of that skill. So consider the same thing with design also. And it's also in a way that something that's not a job demands or something, but you as a person should have that hunger to learn new skill to make you equipped better.
Growth mindset, right?
Yes. Also, the thing is like you don't have to essentially be pro at the beginning itself. Everyone starts from zero. So just start with 0 and slowly as things go up, take it from there and see how it leads you up and helps you out. Again, I guess I lost it. So yeah, I said my answer. I guess you've got it.
How would you advise young designers and just young professionals to get familiarized with AI?
So the best way to get started with AI is sign up into ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot and start using it around yourself. Right? Yes, start using it on day-to-day basis. Just try and use them for everything that you want. Don't restrict yourself because so I also think a lot of majority of people have already got adopted with the stuff, but people who haven't, it's high time that you should and start seeing how does also system respond to your input. The best way to understand AI systems is that you have to start understanding like the different prompts that you are entering and the way how it's responding. Because even the creators themselves aren't the sure of what reply it's gonna be. And every time something new are. So it's a lot of trial and error, mix and match that you have to do to play with the systems to really understand the systems well. And that's where like prompt engineering goes for a very long way to help you interact with these systems. And I personally feel like for now, prompts are like the legacy way. But in future, those interactions could be anything. So you have to just better equip with the tech and how things are proceeding ahead. Also keep yourself open up to the latest news and technologies that are getting built. So don't think, okay, I'm using ChatGPT and Gemini. I know how to use AI. No, the technology is rapidly evolving. As we are speaking, also new AI tech is being built up and put up. So keep yourself open up and read a lot of stuff. There are great AI newsletters. I'll send you. You could probably add it into the description also for the people. You guys could just subscribe to that, and there's this great AI knowledge that can keep getting every weekly and read those articles, make yourself aware. Also try and make yourself into the tech side also. So as a designer, don't get afraid to code and stuff like that, because with AI it's very easy for you to break down it and ask AI itself like what does this code do and all. Try and understand how does transformers work, try and understand how does noise denoise thing happens, the process, and basically understand how does the system think. That will make you fascinate also and make you feel passionate about AI systems, and eventually you can start your learning from there.
Well-rounded advice. Love it. What's the motivation with your podcast? Apart from them being like brilliant learning episodes and providing value themselves, I want to know your core inspiration to start the podcast or be it writing the book. How does it help you personally?
So when I started, there's this like I used to write heavily on Medium. So one day I was called upon for a conference in Bangalore itself. It was happening at HSR. And post the conference, I met with a lady. She was kind of partially blind. This was back in like 2017. She was kind of partially blind, and then she mentioned I used to like hear my Medium articles on read out loud, and she said, why don't you try and record them and put them on SoundCloud so that it's accessible for people like. And until then, this idea of podcasting then struck me that like I've been listening Joe Rogan and stuff, but I myself never thought I'll wear those shoes and start doing it. So that was the problem. So everything that I've started, be it like the podcast or the YouTube channels or these books, it all started from a problem statement that I came across with and the motivation to solve it for. So I felt that, okay, why don't I just start with it? And back then there were not even the podcast culture wasn't there. And I took that problem and then I started researching more and more about it. And also it takes a lot of time to also understand and build your pitch, voice and stuff like that. So I started really understand those things, met with a lot of friends who are in sound industry, the sound design and all, understood how does it and what does it take to even get started with. And that's how we have started very tiny beginnings, and now Nodes of Design has exploded and it created a good global impact. We have listeners from around 60 countries and we've top trending in multiple countries around the world. This credibility I'll give to my guests because like they have kept that effort and they have trusted in their podcast, in the show, and they have turned out and they've shared some wonderful insights that have impacted and changed a lot of lives. So that was how I've seen that problem happen, and book was also happened in that similar way. While we now had almost like 114 episodes, and our new episode is again releasing this Tuesday, so 115 episode you could say. So while doing this 115 episodes over this period of 5 years, one of the mentor, like in my third year of doing it, he said like, why don't you start documenting your stuff and make like episode on like a book, write a book and how to do podcasting itself. But then this idea struck me, oh no, this is actually a nice idea. Why don't I think about book? Then I started searching about it and then understood what's the process and how does it all work. And then this idea struck up. How about I taken all the episodes from Nodes of Design, put my learnings that I've learned from them, and then fully draft it in like a 300 pages book. Because for you to consume a podcast, it might take more than over 100 days, even if you within one episode each day. So how about we condense that and then make it into a good 300 pages book with all the diverse topic from all the diverse design leaders around the world. And that idea came up and then started writing it. I wasn't very sure about doing this, and the whole process itself was a big different discussion that we could do, like going through almost 100 episodes and then finding anecdotes and finding insights, decluttering them, then merging them again and finding. Must have been fun as well. Right? Yeah, it's been a great, wonderful journey. And that's what, like, whenever I started something, I wasn't like thinking, oh, I have to do certain thing or I'll get something out of this. It was clear motivation about, okay, what problem can I solve with this and what product could I make? So that's what I have always been around with great friends around me, and they also inspire me a lot. And my parents also are like super supportive and me in pursuing whatever I want. So that's how we wrote this book, and then we got brilliant international support from all the wonderful guests we have came in. They were part of the early read program. They have read the book and then gave wonderful feedback about the book. So yeah, that's the reason why I said at the beginning itself. So if you start with a true intention and a motivation to solve a real problem, I think forces will come together to help you do that, and you'll in the end achieve whatever you want. And that's how even my YouTube channel D Education started. So the whole purpose of D Education was that when I got admissions into Pass in New York, I had like very less information about what design schools or what happens exactly. There wasn't any alumni also that I am personally aware of. And so night we were having a call, and then this idea struck up. Yo, I have a lot of bunch of friends from different design schools. So why don't I start calling them and start doing a podcast on just colleges itself? And that's how like de-education has such huge base, and it helps a lot of people get into design. It's all about finding problem and then try and find a solution for it in a way that I can do and contribute to. And also all these small things are like, and I also personally love doing all of this along with my day job, because in the end it creates a good impact, and I've seen that impact in many people's lives. So that inspires me to push and keep doing all this different pursuit. And yeah.
Great having you. Finally, I would love your opinion on this, like a final wrap up to the entire episode. We see so many of our friends, so many of our designers searching for jobs relentlessly, right? Why do you think they are missing the point or slacking in the process?
So I personally can't comment on anybody's journey and how it happened. Basically because everybody's trying their own ways. But what I think is like market is so crowded that it's very hard for people to stand out. So I say put your craft up and pull up your socks and make yourself better. Don't just stick with only one thing, and don't just think ki UX designer's job is to only make wireframes. Come out of that shell, try and learn different things. Be very proactive about approaching people. Never get shy to approach people and ask about it. The best instance is if you haven't asked me around, I wouldn't have also known the great stuff that you are doing, Breton. So feel free to explore, ask around people. If you're not getting directly via LinkedIn, just ping them. But I feel like the whole design community is very nice and empathetic folks are there. So they'll all be there to help you off, to mentor you. So feel free to reach out to people if you're not getting jobs and stuff in the companies that you want to. And also platforms like ADP List and all, they're made to help designers out there. No matter whether you are at mid-level, senior level, there's always a mentor that you could always find in your life, and that's what these platforms are meant for. And what I say is keep yourself open up to everything, and don't only think, oh, I have this company, I have to go to only this company. Stop being in that mindset and try and work yourself really hard. I personally believe that manifestation and hard work really works. So don't just sit and manifest and think it will work. So manifest and also work hard towards wherever you want to go, in whatever direction you want to go, and eventually you will get there. So all it takes is grit, resilience, and hard work. So I would like to conclude with these major three things.
Great having you. Thank you for your time, Ravi. Love to have you on the show again. So much,
Thank you for inviting. This was a wonderful conversation.
Awesome.